There were at least 3 shootings over the Easter weekend. 2 teens were killed in the violence, and dozens of people were hurt. CBS News Chief National Affairs and Justice Correspondent Jeff Pegues has more on the spike in crime.
The Easter holiday weekend didn't bring peace to America's streets.
They got shot. Oh my God.
In South Carolina, there were 2 mass shootings. 14 people wounded when gunshots erupted at this mall. Another 9 hurt after a shooting in a club run out of this home. In Pittsburgh, 2 17-year-olds were killed and 10 wounded after more than 100 rounds were fired inside a packed underage party early Sunday morning. Scott Schubert is the Pittsburgh police chief. How would you characterize this kind of violence?
Senseless. I mean, there's no need for this. It breaks your heart when you start thinking about what happened in Pittsburgh. But it seems like every day you look and you see it's happening somewhere else.
In the first 4 months of the year, there have been 144 mass shootings. Among them, New York City's subway shooting. 6 killed and 12 wounded in downtown Sacramento. 2 dead in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. 10 shot on spring break in Dallas. The number 2 official at the ATF told us guns used by criminals are being modified and turned into fully automatic weapons.
We haven't seen so many machine guns used in crimes since Prohibition.
These so-called ghost guns have no registration number, meaning there is no way to trace them back to the original owner.
We got bullets right here.
The FBI and police searching this townhouse in Buffalo found a ghost gun tied to a triple shooting. Another pressing issue for law enforcement is the rising number of juveniles committing gun crimes, many of whom have been previously arrested.
You know, we see sometimes it's the same person over and over again, and that could be frustrating. It's frustrating for us, it's frustrating for the community, and it's frustrating for the victims who were injured in these assaults.
Local police chiefs are blaming the court system for releasing too many violent criminals and setting low bonds. In response, some court systems have called those allegations speculation. During the interview with us today, when asked about rising crime, Pittsburgh's police chief told us that he believes it will get worse before it gets better. Elaine.
Jeff Pegues, thank you. For more on this, I want to bring in John Roman. He is a senior fellow in the Economics, Justice, and Society group at NORC at the University of Chicago. John, welcome. Recent research from NORC shows 18% of U.S. households have bought a gun since the start of the pandemic. Why have more people been purchasing weapons, and how easy is it getting access to those guns?
Yeah, a lot of it is fear. There's fear because people experienced the pandemic and all the trauma related to that. And then there's fear because America just experienced the largest year-over-year increase in gun homicides, almost a 30% increase between 2019 and 2020, and then that continued into 2021. And what that means is people feel uncertain and they're looking for ways to increase their own safety.
Well,
so they're buying weapons in unprecedented numbers.
You know, I imagine it's such a complex picture, but what are some of the other contributing factors you've seen that explain this rise in gun violence?
Well, so there's a couple of things going on. There's the fact that gun violence is really concentrated in a small number of American neighborhoods and that are perpetually at a simmer. And in the pandemic, they went to a boil. Because people were shut in and close to home and close to people that they had disputes with and cut off from schools and jobs and church and those things. So all of that contributes to people's fear, but they're also cut off from supports like mental health counseling, counselors to help with drug and alcohol abuse, people to help them with other kinds of supports for their social and emotional needs. And particularly when you have young men who live in these concentrated areas of disadvantage that have sort of a perpetual amount of violence, it's easy for that to boil over. And when you add in this huge influx of weapons, 40 million guns purchased in the last 2 years, a loosening of gun laws and gun regulations, and all of that comes together as sort of a toxic stew that makes gun violence inevitable.
So given that kind of landscape that you just laid out, what are some ways to combat the number of shootings people have been seeing?
Well, there's sort of 2 different things we need to do, 3 really. We need to focus more police resources on these particular neighborhoods. We know where they all are. It's the same neighborhoods that generation after generation have experienced disproportionate amount of violence. The people who live in those neighborhoods want more cops. They want the cops who come there to do better, but they want more police presence to ensure their safety. And then we need to start investing in these places in ways that we haven't in the past. We need to help with the infrastructure. We need to help with prevention. We need to help remove obstacles in people's lives and help create opportunities for them to grow, to have job, to have a career and not just a job, to have a whole set of opportunity that historically hasn't been available to people who live in those places.
I mean, those potential solutions you're describing all take, of course, time and resources. In the meantime, according to the online gun violence archive, there have been more than 5,500 homicides from gun violence this year. Realistically, do you expect this trend to continue?
Yeah, I do expect 2022 to be a relatively violent year compared to what we've seen in the past. We actually experienced a long crime decline beginning after the 90s. We experienced almost 20 years of less crime than we'd seen in this country, less violence than we'd seen since the 1960s. In the last couple of years, it started to revert back to the levels that we saw in the 90s that we fought against. I think all of these factors that we've described, the isolation from the pandemic, the lack of resources, all of that is going to take time to sort of play out as people go back to their routine activities. We'll start to see the level of violence decline. But the problem is that with all of these guns that have come into the marketplace, it's not that guns are good or bad or any of that. What it is just a mechanical process where every time a gun is sold, there's a chance that it will become a crime gun because it gets lost or stolen or sold to the wrong person. And when you see 40 million new guns, it's inevitable that tens of thousands of those guns or hundreds of thousands of them are going to become crime guns and be used in gun violence. So we have to start doing the kinds of things that Americans overwhelmingly want: background checks, gun registrations, extreme risk protection orders, take guns out of the hands of people who are at risk of committing domestic violence. These are overwhelmingly popular ideas, and they would help to stem the flood of gun violence in the United States.
It's a daunting challenge. John Roman. John, thank you very much.
Thank you.